So in this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at points of inflection. So remember, a point of inflection is where the point changes concavity. So it's similar to the critical point for the second derivative test, though. So remember, with the critical point, we find where f prime is derivative or where it's 0 or doesn't exist, and then we test it. Now it's a critical point just simply if the derivative is 0 or it does not exist. But what's different about the point of inflection is we're going to start with where the second derivative is 0 or doesn't exist. But it needs to change concavity. It has to change from positive to negative there. So we have to test it to determine if it is a point of inflection. So we start with where sorry about my handwriting. So we start there, but it doesn't mean that that's a point of inflection. So we're just going to run through the second derivative test and then check to see if it changes. That's basically it. So it's pretty simple. So f prime of x is going to be 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 12x. So f double prime is going to be 6x squared plus 6x minus 12. Factor out the 6. Then do the diamond method, or whatever you want to call it, x plus 2, x minus 1. So negative 2 and 1 are the two places where we could have a point of inflection. Now we have to test it just to make sure. So negative 2, 1, just going to do a quick little test on it. So if we plug in a negative 3, you get a negative, which is positive. Plug in a 0, you get two positive and a negative, which is negative. And then last, if you plug in like a 2 there, you get if you plug in a 0, you get positive, negative, which is negative. And then you plug in a 2, you get a positive and a positive, which is positive. So does it change? Plus to minus, yes, it changes. So this is a point of inflection. And then negative to positive does change. So this is also a point of inflection. So negative 2 and 1 are both points of inflection. So both end up being points of inflection. So you just have to test it. If the sign stayed the same, if it was positive to positive, this would be no points of inflection because there is no change in concavity. So as long as we have that change in concavity, then it will be considered a point of inflection.